Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. In my channel, I discuss the fast cooking system, which stands for flavor chasing, advanced prepping, and template-based cooking. Now, using the fast cooking system, it's possible for you to cook almost anything that you would like. And today, I'm going to tell you a story about Henry, and he wrote to me of how he was able to eat more vegetables using the fast cooking system. When Henry was growing up, he ate a lot of eggplants like this. Henry is a Chinese American. But after he left college and after he married Jill, he started eating traditional Chinese food. But he always remembered the wonderful eggplant that he ate as a child. And so he decided that maybe he should try to cook them, but he doesn't know how. But after he adopted the fast cooking system, he realized that cooking vegetable actually is very simple and straightforward, and the possibility is almost endless. And this video is a demonstration of how he solved this problem. Now, this Chinese eggplant is going to cook with a particular cauliflower. This cauliflower, frequently known as a Chinese cauliflower, that's slightly different from the traditional cauliflower. The density of the floret is less, and consequently, it has a very different texture. And again, Henry remembered eating this cauliflower as a child, and he would like to start eating it again. So he bought some cauliflower, and he prepped them pretty much the same way as he would prep normal cauliflower. And Henry's wife, Jill, she loves mushroom. Now, they found some fresh shiitake mushroom, but they are not sure what's the best way to cook it. So again, I go back to the idea of template-based cooking. He decided that maybe he can cook it just like any other mushroom that he has done in the past by simply making a substitution for them. So now he has all this plus also some sugar snap pea, which he's familiar with, and some cherry tomatoes. They are now ready to make a chow mein of Cantonese style. There are many different types of chow mein. The Cantonese style chow mein, which is also known as Hong Kong chow mein, is well known for its being pan-fried. So in this case, I demonstrate this dish cooking in my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. The first thing I do is that I season the wok, and to create a non-stick cook surface, use my spot seasoning method. The first step is to cook the noodles. Now, in order to make a chow mein, particularly in a wok like this, so that the noodle will not stick and burn to the surface of the wok, you have to cook the noodles in advance. And this is just regular spaghetti pasta noodles. All you have to do is that after you cook the noodles, you store them in the refrigerator for up to maybe 3 or 4 days. What happens is that the noodles will dry out, and when you coat them with oil and cook them in a wok like this, you will find that they will not stick and burn to the surface of the wok at all. The whole idea of these pan-fried noodles is to create what I call texture contrast. It turned out that the best culinary experience is that you have contrasting texture. That's why we like French fry, because it has a contrasting texture between crispiness on the outside and softness on the inside. It's the same thing with hash brown. Now, this is actually almost like a hash brown, because part of the noodle will be fried and part of the noodle will still be soft, and this is probably one of the best way to cook noodles. In the traditional Cantonese or Hong Kong chow mein, the noodles being used is an egg noodles, but there's no reason why you cannot use other type of noodles, and I discovered that spaghetti pasta noodles actually work very well. So that makes it much easier because I can use the same noodles for many different type of dishes. And this is what makes home cooking more efficient. At the same time, it will allow you to be more creative. Okay, the next step is that I am going to prepare a chicken dish. But in chicken dish, I'm going to use all different kinds of vegetables that I've shown earlier. Again, I use the same wok. As you notice that there's nothing stick and burn to the bottom surface of the wok, so I can go directly from frying noodles to fry the chicken. The chicken that I use to cook this dish has been marinated, and I use a method called dry marinating. And this is a method I use for almost all my chickens. I coat the chicken with a thin layer of cornstarch, with my Walk with Tak basic seasoning mix, as well as with a touch of sugar. All of this will create the type of texture on the surface of the chicken that almost grill-like. And the first step is that basically I pan fry the chicken. As you notice that because of the dry marinating, the surface of the chicken start to become brown, and then they will char as well. And this is a good way to seal the chicken. The next step is that I'm going to add the eggplant. Now the chicken is about 50 to 60% cooked, and by the time when the eggplant is cooked, the chicken will be cooked just to the right texture that I want. Now the eggplant is interesting to cook because eggplant absorbs oil readily. As you can notice that there's hardly any oil left on the surface of the wok because the eggplant has simply absorbed them. And in order to prevent the food ingredients from getting burned, I add some more cooking oil. And this step is really important because the eggplant tastes best when it is soaked with oil. After it absorbs the oil, basically it cooks inside the eggplant and softens the texture and create wonderful flavor. And the next step is that I'm going to add the cauliflower. Now this method is frequently known as sequential stir frying. The concept is very simple. Basically is that I cook those ingredients that I want to cook longer. I add them to the wok first, and then I add other ingredients at sequential order. And this is then followed by adding the shiitake mushroom. As you can see, I have all this planned in my head because I know how long each of those ingredients need to be cooked, and a lot of this based on personal experience in the past. But at the same time, it is pretty much a decision that you make according to the type of situation that you are in. And the end result is that you are most likely could be correct. So you really don't need a recipe to achieve this. Again, I put a little bit more cooking oil. It is always a good idea not to have too much oil right in the beginning. And I put my cooking oil in a squeeze bottle. So it is possible for me to add any additional cooking oil as I cook. This gives me a lot of flexibilities, and it prevents me from using too much cooking oil. As you can see, using this method, the bottom of the wok is almost completely lack of cooking oil. This is the kind of amount that you want. You want the wok lightly coated with cooking oil, but your ingredients are not swimming in cooking oil. And the next step is that I start to add water to the wok. Now this step has two purposes. The first is that I'm going to steam the vegetables, because the vegetables will actually soften much better by steaming. And I add a small amount of water, just enough to cover the bottom surface of the wok. And then I use the wok spatula to scrape off anything that remains stuck and burned to the surface of the wok. And I call this method spot cleaning. It is a good way to clean the wok while you cook. And the next step is that I'm going to add some sugar snap pea. Now I'm not going to use a lot of it, because the sugar snap pea is more like work as a garnish. It provides some flavor and texture to the dish, but it also provides a nice color contrast with its green color. And now I'm ready to season the dish. I'm going to season lightly with oyster sauce. The reason is that because all the vegetable ingredients in this dish are very flavorful. And I want to retain the natural flavor of the food ingredients. And this is one great thing about oyster sauce, is that it do not overpower a dish. It more help you to enhance the natural flavor by adding umami flavor to the dish. And next, I add more water. Again, the water is designed both for cleaning the wok, and in this case, I also want to create a light sauce. And next, I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of chili oil with fermented black soybean. Now, fermented black soybean is very popular in many different types of dishes to create a depth of flavor that will add wonderful flavor to the dish. And you only need a very small amount. And it gives the dish also a slight spiciness, but it's not very much at all. And by this point, the dish is done. I did a quick taste test to make sure this is the flavor intensity that I'm looking for. This is really important, and it's very convenient when you do stir frying. And then I'm going to add a little bit of sugar to increase the sweetness of the dish. Sugar will make the dish more savory. And then I'm going to add some additional oyster sauce to balance out the flavor of the dish. This is an important part of stir frying, and this is also the advantage of stir frying, the ability in making changes while you cook. And this provides you a lot of possibilities and create many dishes, basically with flavor on the fly. Last but not the least, I'm going to add some cherry tomatoes that have been sliced in half. The cherry tomatoes really work like a garnish. It adds flavor to the dish, but more importantly is that it adds wonderful color. And next, I transfer this stir-fried dish over the Cantonese chow mein. As you can see in here, it provides a perfect complement. The reason that you cook them separately because you want to retain the texture of the chow mein. That crispiness will really provide an excellent culinary experience because of the contrast that it creates with the noodles. I have a vegetarian friend, and she told me once is that in order to eat more vegetables, or the reason why she loves vegetable, is that she's able to create vegetable dishes. And she felt that vegetable dishes are far more interesting than dishes with meat because there are many different kinds of vegetables that you can create contrast in many different aspects of the vegetables in terms of the texture, their flavor, as well as their color balance. Henry now told me that by using this approach, he's able to cook almost any vegetable that he would like. He will go to the supermarket and find vegetables that he have never heard of or never seen before, but he knows this method will work. And this is the power of template-based cooking. And that's why with the fast cooking system, when you have all these components put together, it is easy for you to create a meal with great diversity and in a very short order of time. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine. If you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.